Oi,
Oh, this is in the way. What up?
you comfy?
Yeah, I'm comfy.
Because we got a new setup.
I'm figuring out the spot.
That's water in a coffee mug.
It's in a mug.
In a mug, interesting.
Free shout out.
Yeah, what do you think? You like the new spot?
I was telling you, we'll see how it looks on the post side, but for now, I'm liking what I'm seeing.
We're not sweating. That's number one.
Definitely not sweating.
That feels good.
That was a factor in the change, for sure.
Creates a lot less elements.
Yeah, we're not sweating. The camera's not sweating, which is more important.
That was my second point. Now we're actually gonna have the video for all these episodes, which I'm most excited for, because that thing was overheating. Hey, welcome back.
We had an hour-long episode last time, no video.
Yeah, and I'm excited. We got 38 and 39 coming up.
That's right. 39 episodes.
It kind of made sense to make the switch. The reason that we originally had the whole idea with the van and everything, it's even in the logo, which I'm going to change up to. But the whole idea was because at the time we were really focused on mobile fitness, and we were driving around doing personal training, group trainings, and stuff like that, which was awesome. But we kind of shift focuses a little bit, and we're doing a lot of corporate wellness stuff. And that's been absolutely so much fun. Still in-person stuff, but it's not like the mobile fitness that we were doing before. Yeah. So I said it to you. I was like, it just doesn't. Not that it doesn't make sense, but it's not needed. It's not necessary anymore.
We're corporate vibe now. No more little games.
Should we perk up a little bit?
More little kid games. I might wear a suit next episode.
I mean, you've worn your work polo plenty of times.
That's true.
Plenty of times. All right.
But I'm liking this. It's comfy.
It's comfy, and this is what we're gonna be. This is gonna be the setup for now.
It beats the $5 Marshall chairs. Also, I'm leaning in like you wouldn't be able to hear me if I wasn't leaning in. But
those weren't Marshalls.
Ross.
Those weren't Ross. Remember those ones broke right away?
Amazon.
The black ones.
Amazon.
Nah, I think I got them from Walmart. Yeah.
Well,
we don't have to set it up though.
We really just gave a lot of shout outs.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
What are we jumping into?
I think we're going to kind of riff on some things today.
Yeah, because last episode we got a little topic going, mental health. Those last two were serious. Needed to be done for sure, but let's have some fun today, Cars. I know you got some fun. You got some fun stuff for me?
Yeah, we were talking mainly about some social media trends. Or is that
that's
more on the next one.
That's a good cliffhanger, though.
That's more on the next one.
That's a good cliffhanger. No, so next episode we will we'll get into some social media fads. We were having some fun with this. We're scrolling on the For You page and found a bunch of things that we want to comment on. Shout out Lauren for that video recommendation. So that's coming next week. What else have you been thinking about?
Well, so this first one actually goes into something we've been talking about recently, where when I started to make a turn in fitness, worrying less about how I looked and what I was putting into my body. So although I might have been at a calorie deficit, but I was putting in canola oils and other crap into my body that didn't need to be in there. I made a turn for I still track calories, but more on the whole food side and less about the look of it. So I think this is more centered around being like working out and eating for the aesthetic, and then actually living like an overall healthy lifestyle in a way. Does that make sense? I'm having trouble trying to phrase it.
Yeah, it does. And it does, because I think it's more when you're kind of in the beginning stages of it. Reason I say that is because I'm kind of at the point now where I do both. And I feel like what you're asking, correct me if I'm wrong, it's the whole thing with calories in, calories out, not worrying about quality. I feel like that's where you might be thinking when physique comes into play. But then when you get into the quality conversation, that's like the healthy side of it.
Yeah, so if I'll be honest, I'm struggling with quality right now in general. I was running a lot, and I'm still running, but not as much. And I was telling you this last week, but I'm eating like I'm still running. Like I'm just eating so much food, like I'm burning it all, and I'm really not. But I've also started to lax on the cleanliness of the food, like getting a little more laxed, and I need to reel it back in. So I'm in that balance, that fight right now.
Yeah, so this
lot of burritos.
This is important though, dude, because You know me, how I am such a believer in the quality of food, right? And so let's talk about in this case. In this case, let's talk about weight management in terms of losing body fat. It's absolutely correct that, dude, if you just eat 500 less calories than you burn throughout the day, sorry, let me back that up. If you burn 500 less calories than you eat throughout the day, you are going to be losing body fat. That is absolutely correct. However, if that is through fast foods, processed foods, low quality food, the difference is going to be insane in terms of your health, what you were asking.
Right.
So, like, yes, you will lose body fat, but that doesn't necessarily mean your lipids, right? So your fat blood work is getting better, your cholesterol, that kind of stuff, your blood sugar, those kind of things. That's where I think you're really making that difference. And there's a huge difference between how those approaches work. I see this a lot in bodybuilding. Bodybuilders are so focused on the calorie number. And we mentioned it before, how when they're on stage and they look their best, they're actually really unhealthy. And that's because they're not giving their body the nutrients. They're giving it the calories, right? The right amount of calories to be at such a low body fat. But the reason that they're so tired and they have no energy and their health is actually not good, their testosterone is low, is because it's not good quality calories. Even if they are doing a good quality, right, it's not nourishing them. And I think that's a key difference, where calories is where you're focusing on that fitness, that physique and all of that. Everything else, your proteins, your carbohydrates, your fats, and then your micronutrients, so your vitamins and minerals, that's where health comes into play. And I've kind of, after these like 4 or 5 years of messing around with my diet, I've found that perfect middle ground where I am eating the healthy foods, focusing on quality, but then I can also gain weight if I want to. I can lose weight if I want to. All of these things. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, and I think we lose track of it too, in a way, because, like, for instance, I immediately think of a video I saw recently where a powerlifter is trying to get his macros in, right? He's talking about he needs to get up protein and carbs, and the only way to get, not the only way to get there, but he's like, I can have a fast food meal because I'm checking off the boxes. I need more calories, I need more protein, I need more carbs. I can get a couple McChickens, like, take the buns off, or a couple burgers, take the buns off. And I'm like, I'm sitting there, and it makes sense. He's checking his boxes from a number standpoint, and he's burning them for sure, but it's not the overall best way to do it.
So while you said that,
I didn't mean McChicken. I meant, what's the burger? Why?
It doesn't matter, but I'm going to go to...
Quarter pounder.
Okay. Well, while you did that, I pulled up the ingredients of the McChicken, just so we can give the example.
What's the macros first, so you can see what I was, like, talking about? Like, it's probably... I don't know what a McChicken is. It's probably less than the burger because it's breaded.
Let's go macros
Let me take a guess on this. I bet the McChicken is 18 grams of protein.
15 grams of protein, 20 grams of fat, and 35 grams of carbs. A Big Mac is 26 grams of protein, 33 grams of fat, 44 grams of carbs.
So, like, if you're a power lifter and you're checking off boxes, that's going to check off boxes for you. 26 grams of protein is solid, decent amount of carbs, but then you go to the ingredients and you're like, well, this isn't overall making me healthy. So it's making me look very good.
Yeah, I'm so happy you brought this.
Making me look good.
This is perfect you brought this up. So we just laid out the McChicken. A little reminder: 15 grams of protein, 20 grams of fat, 35 grams of carbs. Another example. Let me read off the macros for my meal today. I had a bowl that had potatoes, ground turkey, and then I drizzled honey on top and used a little mustard, but that has nothing. 33 grams of protein, 66 grams of carbs, 10 grams of fat.
Same ballpark.
Right? Less fat, but like if you look at the grand scheme of things, you put those two things side by side, you have no idea.
Yeah.
They mask each other. So now let's go back to the ingredients, right? So the ingredients for my bowl that looked the same was potatoes that have one ingredient. I added salt, but potatoes. Ground turkey, which I added salt, pepper, and turmeric. And honey. Right? And then I also actually had leftover veggies too. But those are nothing. A McChicken for the ingredients. All right, so we got boneless chicken, bleached wheat flour. So that's going to be for the breading.
High grade chicken. Very high grade. Probably. Grass fed.
Completely organic.
Yeah, grass.
Pasture raised.
Yeah.
100%. Bleached wheat flour. If there's one thing that I know, my mom told me to stay away from the bleach in the laundry room.
Yeah, seriously.
So there's something in the laundry room in the
bleach.
food.
That's a wild.
Vegetable oil, but there's 4 of them. Canola oil, corn oil, soybean oil, 3, and hydrogenated soybean oil. So there's the oils. Wheat flour, another version of wheat flour, I guess. Modified cornstarch, potassium chloride, now I'm naming the negatives, dextrose, sodium phosphate, ammonium bicarbonate, sodium acid pyrophosphate. Like, this is what I'm saying, dude.
Where do you think that is?
That's the problem. I don't even know. And the fact that you can read something and question it, it's probably a good indicator it shouldn't be happening. But the reason, so I want to emphasize this too, because what the bodybuilder poses is not wrong. Like, yeah, you're going to get to that fat loss, that physique, and fat loss is healthy. But what's more important is that blood work, dude.
What's it doing that you can't see?
What is that blood work?
Yeah.
Right, exactly. What is it doing? Because, look, I don't need to bring up studies to tell you that those ingredients are bad. The way I view it is, if it wasn't in our diet, I'll even say in the early 1900s, our bodies just don't know how to digest it. It doesn't know what it is. So you're introducing your body to something completely new that has no idea how to digest.
You know what sucks? Like, what if we lived in a world where it just never got introduced to us? Like, so how cool would that be? Like, if because let's be honest, we've all had McDonald's before, right? We've all had Wendy's, we've all had Chick-fil-A.
I've never had Wendy's.
Okay.
I've only had McDonald's and Chick-fil-A.
But all right, so Chick-fil-A, there's one right across the street. We can actually see
and sniff it.
Yeah.
Not on Sundays.
Call it what it is. It's good. Like, it tastes good. Imagine, like, we never even went down this slippery slope of, like, cutting corners and making these oils and stuff that are really messing us up past the point that we can't see, because the oils aren't messing you up from a calorie standpoint necessarily. They're messing you up from stuff that you can't even see. No, because
you use olive oil and you're getting the same calories.
And when I say stuff you can't see, you're talking blood work. I'm talking mental health, other stuff that's forming that you'll never even connect the dots. But it would be so sick to live in a world where you didn't even have to make the choice, because not knowing the effects, if you're oblivious to the real long-term effects of this stuff, it's a hard choice to make. Like, $6 I can get or $8, I don't even know what the prices are. $8 you can get a full meal that tastes great, and if you're oblivious to the real harms of it,
it's like
it's just a bad night. Yeah. That's all. It's just a bad night.
So 2 things on that. One, little history on kind of how processed and ultra processed foods came about. This is where I completely understand why we're in the situation. It just got brought to a whole new level. Originally, the reason that we started processing foods was because of war.
I was going to say military.
Yeah, because...
Or I was also going to say capitalism.
Yeah, because we need... Well, it's multiple. War was one of the main things, because we needed to be able to send them food that would last a long time, right? So that's when the introduction of preservatives came into play. But then also during the recession, I believe during the Great Depression too, that's when we really needed to have food last a long time.
Cheap.
Because like the economy was in a disaster. So that's where I understand where processed foods kind of came about. The problem that came about that is the business of it, right? So that's where big food businesses came into play, because they saw an avenue where, oh my gosh, we can make foods super, super cheap. Let me in quotes put food. Make things that people eat super, super cheap with these fake ingredients, and they'll last on the shelves for a year, which means their expenses go down. I mean, dude, we're getting into business and starting to look at like the financial side of things. And in a business, you want to do anything that you can.
You got to start making decisions.
Right. You need those. You need to hold on to your margins as much as you can.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, that kind of led into this whole thing. So I understand it, but now we're in a situation where, yeah, dude, like you said, you really, and this is again why I'm so big on, if people want to make a change, it starts with education, then it starts with the actual action, and then you get the results if you're consistent with it. But you need the education. Without the education, dude, I mean,
yeah, the education definitely is huge. Once you figure out what it's doing, the action, I feel like, follows quickly, because you're like, why would I do that? Once you learn about it,
when I really made the change,
tough, though.
So here's the thing though, on that note, because you nailed it. When I really started focusing on the quality, it was because I now understood what these low quality ultra processed foods were doing. So think about it in my head, dude. When I look at a cookie in the grocery store, right? What I see, and this is going to be so nerdy and stupid, but it's just because I did the education. What I see is all of those chemicals, all of those ingredients, all of those processed oils, and I can literally vision what that's doing in my blood, right? That's causing my blood to slow down. It could cause plaque. It's raising my blood sugar. Like, I envision all of those things because, again, my background was science and anatomy. But that's just to emphasize the point. When I learned about it was when I made the change. It wasn't when I was doing tracking and I was just focused on my weight loss. I was just doing calories in, calories out. So I was just putting stuff into the app, and if it hit my numbers, it hit my numbers. And then when I actually taught myself all of that stuff, that's when I changed it. So the biggest question, like every time I'm at a social thing or a family party, or like Christmas or whatever, everyone's like, "Come on, you work out so much, just have the cookie." It's not about the cookie. It's not about the calories. I mean, it's sorry. Let me go back. It's not about the calories. It's about the ingredients that are in the cookies and understanding that. And then also, to me, it's just not worth it. Like, it sounds crazy, but dude, I'd much rather wait and then get home, have my Greek yogurt bowl that I put protein powder in, I put honey on top, I put berries in, I put granola on, whatever it is. That to me is so good. But also, something I want to add now that I'm going on a tangent. I believe that my taste buds and the things that satisfy me changed as well.
I was just gonna ask, how much of you do you think you love that because you come home and you knew you like beat temptation and got a very healthy snack? How much does that make it taste better for you?
I think in the beginning of that transition, absolutely, that was probably the main motive. Now, dude, genuinely, it's taste. Genuinely, like I can tell you, if there's two things, a pumpkin pie and a pumpkin flavored Greek yogurt bowl, I'm 100% taking the Greek yogurt bowl. To me, it's taste, but you're probably right. There is, like, again, in the back of my head,
satisfaction,
knowing, but dude, like that's it's so important, because then when, for example, for someone that's listening to this and if they're trying to kind of get to that point where they're just focusing on quality, then you don't have to make the sacrifice of not going out to eat, right? Like if you're tracking your food and you're just focusing on calories, going out to eat is so hard because it's a lot of calories. But if you go out to eat, you're not focused on calories and you just focus on quality of food. I mean, dude, we've been out to eat a handful of times, like, and you see what I get every single time. I'll eat whatever as long as the quality's okay. Yeah. We go to a Mexican restaurant every time. I always get fajitas.
Always Mexican.
Always. So good. I'll get fajitas. Because, again, the quality is better than some of the other options you can get with the fried tortillas and stuff like that.
I know.
Dude, again, I think quality is so important with the ingredients.
And it bleeds, like, I got 2 points. All I'm thinking about is, like, how long do you think, like, the chicken to Chick-fil-A to your thing, how long it's been.
I question like when the bird was killed to the plate.
Yeah, because like I'm even thinking about it now. Like if we put a thing of chicken in our fridge and it goes bad within like a couple days.
Bro, I just bought chicken thighs on Monday at Sam's Club, and today's the expiration date. I have to put one of them in the freezer.
Yeah, and like I have no intelligence of how long that takes, but it's got to be over.
Well, that's what they're off. Well, so one, it's extended because of the preservatives. That's why they put them in there, and then they freeze it as well.
Right.
But so all right. So now we just talked about
my second thing was
go first.
it bleeds past food, and it bleeds into like alcohol and stuff.
All right,
like
so
that.
hold that then. Hold that and come back to that. Because I just want to add, so we were just talking about the ingredients. So when we said quality, we were talking about the ingredients of food. You look at the label, and we just read out the McChicken as an example. This goes a little deeper too, because then you go to the quality of the meat.
Yeah.
Right. So you can have chicken breast, right? The ingredient is just chicken breast, but now that chicken that it's coming from was also fed processed foods and grains. And now that's a whole saying, you are what you eat. You're eating that crap food.
That's even more down the rabbit hole.
Dude, so that's why, there's another level to it. But in terms of just like how to manage the levels, I would say the ingredients is number one. And then once you get good understanding with that, then you can kind of shift towards, all right, I'm going to focus on the pasture raised, the grass fed, the organic, all of those kind of, I'll call them, trigger words.
Sorry, I'm looking at the grilled nuggets from Chick-fil-A because the macros are like pretty nice. It's 130 calories, 25 grams of protein.
You know how many ingredients are in that thing?
I click ingredients.
This is crazy, by the way. We're talking about grilled chicken nuggets. What?
They're basically
Chicken.
That's what it should be.
It's not just chicken.
So I go on Chick-fil-A's website and it says, put in the zip code and we'll tell you the ingredients.
That's weird.
From your local store.
That's weird.
I put it in and paragraph. You can't see it.
Let me see.
But paragraph.
So the chicken is boneless, skinless chicken meat containing up to 17% solution of water.
I know who we're ruining someone's day right now.
Yeah, but we're also helping them.
I know exactly who it is.
All right, so they added chicken flavor, which includes maltodextrin, which is a sugar, modified cornstarch. I'm going to only name the negative ones. They do have apple cider vinegar in them. That's good. But soybean oil, sugar, cane molasses, yeast extract, corn maltodextrin. I'm skipping so many, too. That's how many there are.
Yeah.
Xanthan gum.
Isn't that crazy?
Wait, natural flavor, and it says in parentheses, including smoke. Calcium disodium, high oleic canola oil, dimethyl polysiloxane.
The usual suspects.
I have them in the pantry.
Yeah.
But so, dude, that's what's so scary because you're right.
Bro,
like,
where do you even find that?
You know what's so sad is people.
It's just added to reduce the foaming.
Foaming of what?
I don't know.
The
That's what
bird
it
when you
says,
kill it
to reduce foaming.
I mean, yeah, but dude, you're so right because that's what's so sad is number one, you just said it, like people are gonna be so upset that we're exposing
Dude,
it.
grilled
like,
nugget.
I know, but that's the scary part of how oblivious most people are.
That's the healthy version of the breaded nuggets.
Right, so that's what I mean. People are going and thinking, oh, I'm gonna get the
I got
healthy
the salad
option.
with the grilled nuggets.
I'll unfortunately make another call to a place that I absolutely love. That's also across the street, Wawa.
Don't do it to me.
But we talked about it.
Oh, I can't get anything.
Right, it's so hard to get anything in there.
A power bar, and even those are.
Yeah, not great. All right, go back to your second point. What do you elaborate
It bleeds
a little bit?
into the alcohol. I know. It's just I had a bad night last night. I was at a client event, and I was like, you know what? Like, for some reason, anytime I think about alcohol, I have this one voice, and it's Huberman, and he's like, you can have one drink a week, and anything over one drink a week, the data is pretty clear. Like, no bueno. So I'm like, all right, this is my one. So I got one at basically like a cocktail hour, fine. I was like, this is what I'm gonna enjoy it. This is my drink. Vodka soda. Nothing crazy. A little bit of
You were
lime.
look at you as a psycho.
A little bit of lime. Vodka soda.
Well, that's an upgrade for you.
That is an upgrade. It used to be vodka water. Water and
Really?
and I moved to I'm in on the sodas. So vodka soda, and then I ordered a beer at dinner just because everyone got a drink. I'm peer pressure. I'm such a bitch.
What'd you get though?
I said, can I get a lager? And they were like, Peroni. And I was like, sounds good.
So good.
And I was just going to milk it, like, the whole entire dinner. I was like, all right, 2 drinks will put me over. The table next to us was loud. Bought us all shots. Green tea shot. And now I'm like, dude, I'm cooked for 3 weeks. Now Lauren's like, hey, we're going to the bar tonight. And I'm like, I'll be there because I promised I would be there. But don't expect too much from me. I'm sorry. But this is all to say, like, that stuff, those negatives bleed into alcohol and bleed into other areas.
It's, well, one of the problems.
Negative, and what I mean by negatives is stuff you don't see.
Yeah.
When you see it gets you drunk, you see it makes you sluggish the next day, but you're not seeing the effects.
You're not seeing what it does at cellular level.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Real time.
That's what I can literally envision. And that's why it's a lot easier for me to kind of stick with these things, because if you want to use the example of alcohol, I don't know if Huberman talked about this, but a lot more research is coming out in terms of alcohol and cancer as well. Mm-hmm. And the reason for that is because, one, they were saying how the regular standard drink now is too much. But also what it's doing
I know,
to
just
cancer
the one
cells.
drink is even.
So this is what something that is the reason that part of the reason that sugar is so bad is not only in terms of just like the elevation of blood sugar and insulin and all that kind of the diabetic side of things, and then on top of the brain stuff, but they're seeing that it's also causing cancer cells to grow and metastasize, which means split, and then they grow again. So that's what I'm picturing in my head, and why I haven't really drank that much at all this year, to be honest.
Yeah.
And that's a hidden thing. That's such a hidden thing that no one would know, unless you're a complete nerd like me. But then let me throw in another problem too. Bro, also one of the side effects of alcohol is it messes with your satiety and your hunger hormone. Leptin and ghrelin is what they're called. And that's why when you drink, you are just craving the unhealthiest foods. Because it causes your cravings and your satiation to go out of whack. So
Can't even imagine what it's doing upstairs too.
you see that one just cascades to the other. One bad night of eating, all right, might as well have a drink too. Then all right, might as well eat some more. Like it's tough, man.
It's a battle, and as I'm going out tonight to like fight this battle, I'll be fine.
So let me add something in this too, and I want to get your thoughts on this, because there's pros and cons to everything. There is a fair, I don't call it an argument, but an opposite viewpoint of the idea that being social and putting yourself in social settings is very good, and I can attest to that. And one of the biggest things that I recommend in terms of general health is being social, in-person human connection, not online. And that's one way that people do it. So that's where it's really hard, because you have one aspect of health that is super good for us and about going out and stuff like that. And then you have this other where it's not great. If I were to put those on a weighted scale, I mean, it's not even comparable.
I mean, but in some cases, in most cases, both can be true. You can be in the social situation and not drink.
I'm a concert lover.
I know.
Concert lover.
You've done it often.
And
but
you have to
does
get used
get
to it,
tough, though.
You have to get used to it.
Yeah, because there comes a time where people start to have too many, and then it's like, all right, well, this isn't really the best night anymore.
Yeah. The way I mean, the first time I definitely mentioned it on here before, but it was during 75 Hard. I made a promise to myself that I wouldn't say no to social things. And that was so good for me, dude, because that's the moment I realized, like, I really didn't need one to be social. Now, that's where it's tough because I'm definitely not an extrovert, but I'm willing to be one in situations I need to be. For people that are fully introverts, that's where it gets tough. If they do truly struggle with social situations, but just from like a human evolution standpoint, I find it so hard to believe that we evolved needing alcohol to be social or needing a substance or needing a feeling. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we kind of lost that, which makes me a little sad boy.
But the weird thing about alcohol, and correct me if I'm wrong, like wine, it's not, like, wine doesn't have preservatives and stuff in it.
The natural and organic ones don't.
So, like,
a lot do, though.
But it's just the manipulation that it does to your body that is the negative. It's not the preservatives.
Right. So yes, dude, because there's plenty of alcohol
that was dumb.
that are organic. No, not at all. Well, the tough part about alcohol is it's fermented, which is just like sauerkraut, kombucha. It's like it's aged, right? So you don't necessarily need preservatives in them, but some do just for kind of sustainability.
Yeah.
But you're right. No, it's not just a preservative. It's the actual.
But it's natural too, right? Or no? It's like a natural chemical.
Wine or alcohol?
Well, wine is grapes, right?
Are you talking about preservatives?
I'm talking about alcohol, I guess.
Okay, yeah. So that's where I was getting. So alcohol, the actual component of alcohol is ethanol alcohol, and that's what's bad. That's what our body recognizes as poison. Is the ethanol part of it. So going back to that whole standard drink thing, the whole idea is that if you have one standard drink in 1 hour, our body will see it as a poison, but it should be able to metabolize it, meaning it should be able to break it down, and then we get rid of it. Once you start accumulating more drinks, 2, 3, 4, like multiple per hour, that's where our body cannot process it.
I don't think it's isn't it like, it's not even per hour.
It keeps changing. I think it keeps changing. But the general one was that 1 drink per hour. And it's different for male and female and weight and stuff like that.
But that's for you to be drunk.
No. So I'm talking about that's how your body, 1 drink an hour, your body can break it down and get rid of it. It actually uses it as energy. When it goes above that, whether it's binge drinking or just have multiple drinks or sorry, but what you were doing last night.
That was less than 1 drink an hour.
Yeah, right. So what happens there is your body can't keep up with that. So it has to now turn it, and it turns it into a poison and a toxin. And then that's where we get drunk. That's where hangover comes into play. Mm-hmm. That's where all that cellular stuff I was talking about comes into play.
But I guess my point is, like, the studies are showing that it's happening way before a drink an hour.
So they were saying that the 1 standard drink is too high.
Way too high.
Too high.
Like, not even close to.
Dude, and I thought about this too. Have you been to Europe or out of the States?
Yes.
Have you noticed?
Why did it take me so long?
I don't know. Have you noticed?
I've been to, yeah.
The drink sizes are different. It depends on the country.
I got a guinea.
That was a big boy.
Yeah.
That was a big boy. Yeah. Let me go back. Like the wines, like wine in Italy, they give you so much less. There's not that much. I mean, you can obviously get it, but liquor isn't like a huge thing. It's just it's a very different view and approach. But yeah, so now going back to that, they are seeing like that 1 standard drink is now too much.
Way too much from what I've been seeing.
Yeah, it's tough.
Like I said, he said over 1 a week.
Dude, but think about the society and the culture part of it. And this goes the same thing with food, with fast foods and stuff. It's so ingrained in our culture that it's so easy to forget about the problems that they're causing because everyone does it. So, so can I. Right? And that's the scary part because you have these people that still live to 80s and 90 years old that grew up on all these foods and didn't focus on their health at all. But that's not the average.
Right.
Those are the anomalies. if you look at the average right now, on average,
That's the best when they comment. My grandpa smoked every day his whole life, and he lived till 95. It was like, all right, he was one of the we see the numbers. Like,
can we look at the average of the amount of people that smoke every day?
We can see the numbers. Your grandpa, congrats.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
But
he's few.
Literally, I just presented on this morning.
Do you want to take your chances on being that lucky one to make it to 95?
I mean, clearly, I'm not taking
no,
my chances.
Do you know what I mean?
I totally get it.
So, like, do you want to roll the dice on that?
And plus, we can't even use that because our grandparents, that generation, they were different, dude.
Yeah, they were.
The heart that they went through, they can have a little ciggy.
Yeah.
Their heart was different.
Yeah.
Now, but so what I wanted to, what was I about to say on that?
I don't know. I got you on a goodie. That's ass.
I had a good one. What was I about to?
Moment of silence for your good one.
No.
Moment of silence for your good one.
I got it. See, there you go. I needed that moment of silence. Was there a bug?
Yeah, and I think I got
Dude,
him.
they're everywhere.
I was nice with
Not
it.
anymore because the cleaning ladies came.
That's right.
So no, what I was gonna say was, but
Sparkly.
if you look at the average, dude, I literally did a webinar on this morning with one of our companies. I talk about health span versus lifespan all the time.
Yeah, you do.
Right? Health span is the number of high quality, healthy years that you live. The average health span is like 62 years old.
Lifespan is up. Health span is down.
Lifespan, the average lifespan is just a number on the clock. The number of years you get, that's around 75. So there's around like a 9 to 10 year gap where people are spending living with a chronic condition, with disease, with illness, with injuries, you name it. Mm-hmm. They're just kind of like struggling to get through, or they're dealing with something. That's where all this comes into play, right? You may get to that lifespan and maybe beyond that.
Interesting. Think about, like, take a step back for a second. I feel like as a world, as a health industry, we're so worried about having the lifespan number go up and less worried about closing the gap between health span and lifespan. Like, how do we get this number from 75 to 85? Not how do we get the gap from health span to lifespan from 10 to 2?
That's where pharmaceuticals come into play.
Yeah.
Pharmaceuticals have done a great job. This is
extending
a fact.
the life.
A great job at extending our lifespan, right? But they've also increased that health span lifespan gap because people are getting on these drugs earlier. So then now they're dealing with a condition, and that's why that health span is dropping, and that lifespan is staying the same and maybe even going up. So we're seeing that gap become bigger than 9 to 10 years now. And this goes, let's bring this whole thing full circle. This is what we were talking about with quality of food. This is what we were talking about with this whole lifestyle. On average, you're going to live to 75. Bro, I just don't want to spend 10 years popping pills and dragging around.
Yeah, it's what you're saying is you and that person in that Chick-fil-A line may live to be the same exact age.
Totally.
But who's living the healthier, better, energized life
Happier.
at 75?
Yes, exactly.
We'll see. Actually, the numbers say.
Yeah, but you don't want to, no absolutes. But yeah.
Yeah.
But if, again.
When I said roll the dice, who's got better chances?
Looking at the averages, yeah, exactly. I love that we rounded it out to that because I think that answers your original question.
What was it?
Of focusing on the physique versus the actual health.
It was a rabbit hole, but we made it work.
Dude, and let me give one more example too. I'm in a period of doing extreme endurance training, right? And there's a huge part of me that hates it. You know how much I love it. But there's a huge part of me that hates it because of this quality side of things. So I am not sacrificing the quality of food at all. But where I am sacrificing is the performance supplements and stuff like that. So I'm using all these performance powders. But, dude, it's straight sugar. Right? It's straight things that I advise people not to use. Now, my muscles are using it. My body's using it. It's clear. My physique hasn't changed. But it's the idea, dude. I don't like that my blood and my sugar and and my body still has to metabolize it. Like there's still that side of me that I struggle with, which is why I'm also excited to be done in November, because then I can get back to that like that true quality.
And
but
you know
it's
what
something to think about.
You know what it all comes down to, I think, and push back on me on this, is like the shortcuts. Like you talk about the preservatives of extending the life of the food. It's a shortcut. Your supplements are shortcuts.
Yeah.
Like it's almost impossible, if not impossible, for you to take in all those carbs and eat all that, like all the sodium that you need to in order to keep up. So you take the supplements in order to shortcut that.
Yeah.
The when you start to cut corners is when stuff starts to get dicey.
Yeah, but there are ways to cut corners the right way too.
Right.
Like, at least using my example, I get the highest quality supplements like that don't have preservatives and have the least amount of ingredients. But you're right, because that's what these things are so good for, are giving us those shortcuts. Where before, dude, when our ancestors, they had to pack up and go kill a moose.
Right.
Cut the thing open and eat it.
It's so wild, like
Break down salt.
you sound like such
rocks.
a hardo when you're like, well, back in the day, they didn't even like, they had to hunt for their food, and they're like, yeah, come, but it's true.
It is. It's a fact.
Yes. Let's go walk.
That was the way to round it out. Anything else? I love that we just went.
No,
off
that was good.
I know you have multiple, but we can just we can end it with that.
Yeah, that was fire.
Hell yeah.
That was
All
38.
right. That was 38. We're gonna jump into 39. You already said it.
Yeah, it's, social media fads.
Social media fads.
We actually workout fads, health fads. Basically, you swipe through the explore page like we were doing 20 minutes ago, and
we touched on one that I had on the list too. It was literally calories are the only thing that matters in fat loss. So
check that one off. There's more to come.
Carson.
Let's have a week.
Bang. Peace.